What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to of course be talking about with you guys. For those of you who haven't seen this already, the Houston Rockets actually decided to kind of sit down with John Wall and discuss the future. It seemed like a real big long time coming. Like, I don't know why it took them this long to kind of arrange something like this, but basically, for those of you who haven't seen this already, that John Wall and the Houston Rockets have agreed to finally work together to find himself a new team. This is all being reported by Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports. The other report going around right now is that should the Rockets work a buyout out with John Wall, the Dallas Mavericks would be among teams interested in signing the veteran point guard, and this is being reported by Evan Mace. Now, I do believe John Wall for Dallas would actually be a really good thing, in my opinion, as Luka Doncic, well, it might not be the greatest player to go out and get, but if you can get a dude like John Wall for free, you're really not saying no to that. Considering Luka really struggled towards, the postseason to really find that second shot creating dude, because, Kristaps, he was supposed to be that guy, but Kristaps just, he was not that guy. He was really not that guy. He struggled so much towards the end of the season. It was almost an embarrassment, for the whole entire Dallas Mavericks team. Instead, I guess Kristaps has kind of got most of the responsibility and blame kind of placed on him. It really did seem like they needed another shot creator. Tim Hardaway kind of stepped up quite a bit for the Dallas Mavericks, but it wasn't a huge thing. Like, it wasn't like Hardaway was able to carry Dallas tremendously, while Luka was just there and Kristaps was hanging out, just taking $30 million away. So in my opinion, although I don't know if he'd be necessarily perfect, I still think though it'd be really, really nice to give Luka a second scorer. Because when Luka goes to the bench, I just think he needs that dude. Like, Tim Hardaway can for sure be that guy, but we've seen Tim Hardaway can be an alright catch and shoot player, and just, he can play off ball still. I think it would make a lot of sense for John Wall to go to the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm pretty sure Dallas would still have a couple million to spend. If not, they've probably got some mid-level exception kind of just floating around. If I was John Wall, I would ask for around, $5 million on just a one-year contract. You get a decent amount of money, while you're still most likely getting paid from the Houston Rockets. And then you just, play out the season and try and prove that you can, get extended for some good money long-term. I think, of course, he would start for the team. He'd start at point guard, and then Luka would start at shooting guard. Bullock would start at small forward. Kristaps, I think, will start at power forward in this upcoming season, because they've got a lot of centers. I think they'll have Dwight Powell probably be that center position player, and then Tim Hardaway will come off the bench. Josh Green will be there as well. Same with Boban, etc. The team will be... It will have quite a good depth, in my opinion, if they can get Tim Hardaway, then progressively come off the bench and, sign John Wall to the team. I really do think John Wall would actually be a really, really nice player for this Dallas Mavericks team, and it would make a lot of sense for them to actually, of course, go out and, try and trade for him, in my opinion. I just think it makes the most amount of sense, because, look, you could try and get a trade done, but, of course, cap space issues would be a thing. Like, I don't know what they would have to trade up to make this happen, because unless they could offer them Kristaps, like if they were genuinely really trying to get Kristaps, and Houston are still looking for trades, which I know they will be, because I know the Clippers are going to offer a trade. It's just whether or not the Rockets want Luke Kennard and whoever else they'll get offered. But you also look at it like this: if Dallas are really wanting to get rid of Kristaps, which I don't think they will, I don't think they'd get rid of him for John Wall. I think you would rather see John Wall, try and get him in a buyout and then just sign him to a deal like that. But hey, maybe they say, alright, we'll give you Kristaps, Porzingis, and maybe a center like Moses Brown they could offer up. And then who knows, maybe Houston might accept that. It'd make a lot of sense for both teams. Dallas get that shot creating player, and then Houston gets something, the Houston Rockets get something out of Kristaps, out of John Wall rather, which they probably wouldn't have done not so long ago. Kristaps could still be an alright player in the league, and he with Christian Wood would be an interesting player to kind of team him up with. Both of them can shoot threes. So yeah, it'd be pretty interesting. It's not like Kristaps is that old yet either. So yeah, that'd be kind of an interesting thing to maybe see unfold, and then Moses Brown gives them some height and just another dude. Then if they were able to like make this happen, then I think this Rockets team gets much deeper, because right now it's really, in my opinion, it's one of the worst teams in the league. Because John Wall is not going to play for this team anyway, so the depth it's really not there right now, and especially like they lost Kelly Olynyk. Like I don't know if they got worse this offseason because they brought in, a couple of players, and I guess bringing back Dante Exum's alright. Kevin Porter Jr. is going to develop so much more. Jalen Green's going to, I think he'll have a good season, but Schengen and that, they might not be that good in their first year. It's going to be interesting to see, how it, of course, all does go. But yeah, they don't really have much depth. But if they were able to bring in a couple big men like Kristaps and Moses Brown, I'm guessing that would be a pretty good result for them. And they've still got, some backup dudes like DJ Augustine, I still believe is on the roster, which is, it's a pretty interesting one. I'm not too sure how long he'll be on there for, and if they decide to maybe trade him next season or whatever, I doubt they'll waive him. Like, he's still a good player, averaging like 10 points per game off the bench. But hey, they did a couple things here and there. Like, actually, I think they brought in Daniel Tice in free agency, which is a weird one. But yeah, their team right now, they got Schengen, they got Daniel House, Jashawn Tate, Daniel Tice, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, I believe Nawaba's still there, Porter Jr., Augustine, Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, Deshaun Nix, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So like, they've got like 11 rotational players, but none of them are really like that good. Like, the best rotational player there, I'd probably say the best player on their team right now is either Christian, Porter, or Christian Wood rather, or Kevin Porter. I'm not exactly too sure. It's just a weird team. And again, even Kelly Olynyk leaving was a little bit weird. I'm not too sure, what. I don't know, maybe they didn't offer him as much as Detroit, but yeah, Detroit signing him was weird. I thought he should have just stayed on Houston. Like, I thought he would actually been a good player for them to maybe bring back. But yeah, John Wall, he would be good for the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion. I think it would make a lot of sense for, him to actually go there. But I also think the Clippers, it make a lot of sense to maybe try and get him as well. So don't be surprised if he goes to the Clippers. They are interested in him as well. There's a couple other teams here and there which I will probably talk about. But if he was to go play with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, like, how bloody good would that be for them? That would be absolutely insane, in my opinion. Like, Paul George they just need a playmaker. And look, I don't know if Wall can really be that playmaker. He definitely could be, but he'll mainly just be another shot creator, but I guess a better shot creator than a couple of the dudes they got there right now. But again, it was being reported by Mitch Lawrence that Detroit and the Clippers are interested in him. I don't know why Detroit would randomly be interested in him. That's a really, really weird team. But yeah, the Clippers would be really nice. I think that could legitimately be a big three if John Wall got his, kind of numbers back and performed the way we all know that he can. Like, I still believe he played pretty good for the Rockets this season. It was just, they weren't really winning, and it didn't seem like he connected that well with James Harden to start the season off. And yeah, he did average 20.6 points per game, but it's just, you can average that, but you got to win games still. Like, Colin Sexton averages 24 points per game, but Cavs still don't win much games. So, I don't know. I think the Clippers would be the perfect spot, but I also think the Dallas Mavericks, out of most teams in the NBA, would be a pretty good spot too. Like, especially being a better spot than the Detroit Pistons would be, in my opinion. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA content and NBA news. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Go check out my new podcast channel, which is called the CHB Podcast, which I recently, I've been uploading a bunch of clips to it, audio versions of the podcast, this and that. So if you haven't gone and checked that out already, I would highly recommend going and doing so. I will all be linking all of this stuff in the link in the description down below. Of course, don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions on the Dallas Mavericks being interested in John Wall. Should he sign there? Should he not? But yeah, I guess, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.